Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. It's GW Pro Trading. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 18 most frequently asked Forex questions, and I'm going to be giving you my sincere answer to them. These are questions that traders have asked on many platforms. I've also gone across these questions on several platforms, also from Quora, from Twitter, from every handler. I've got a series of questions like this one coming in occasionally. Okay, so I just want to pick out some time to answer the most 18 frequently asked Forex questions about trading, right, as a whole. So I'm going to just go over to it, and then I'm going to share with you from 1 to 18. I'm going to give you my sincere view on this one, and also I'm going to share with you also my experience on my trading journey. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, so first on the list, I've got questions like how long have you been trading? I've been trading. I would say I've been trading professionally for about 10 years. Okay, I started trading far back 2008, and that was when I actually learned first about trading. Okay, I I was introduced to trading by my mentor then, and which happened to be one of his major job, because he's a day trader. Okay, he trades for a living. Okay, so I was inspired by the way he does it. Okay, so many of the times I ask him to give me guidance on it, so I went on to reading and then started practicing, and I also paid for some courses, which I then moved on to academy, which I was also educated on how that can be done effectively. So I've been trading successfully for the last 10 years. Okay, I would say that. Okay, so I would go over to what strategy do you use in the strategy do you use to trade the market? All right, so um, I would say I really don't have that in quote, that kind of strategy. Maybe you're thinking in your mind. Okay, I use the Elliott wave theory because it's one I love the most, and also it gives me a true reflection of the activity or the whole market psychology or the market reaction based on the market participant. Okay, you have the forex market or any market, okay, have various participants. Okay, and you want to see a strategy, I believe more on a strategy that reflects to me or tells me what to do. Okay, gives me an edge in the market. All right, give me an edge in the sense that if I'm using Elliott wave rule, and I tend to see the market for what it truly is. Okay, but the fact that I can read candlesticks, I can also read market formations and market patterns. Okay, but I use more of the Elliott wave, and this has been really wonderful for me. All right, so what trading style fits your personality? I would say I'm more of a combined trader. Okay, so I'm more of a combined trader. I go from day trading to swing trading to, I do little of position trading, because the last time I took a trade over 4 months was 2017. I took a trade over 4 months, and that was USD card. Right, I took that trade over a long period because of the setup which I found in the market, and as well I was ready to take that trade decision as well in achieving that aim. Okay, so it's all about what works for you as a trader. Um, we have various trading styles that respect to various personalities. We have the scalping, which also involves a very short-term trade. Right, and also in underscalping, we have that a trader that is a scalper would take many trades daily, and also possibly will be holding trades over minutes, right? Seconds, could be seconds, minutes, and could be maybe a few hours. Okay, so probably 1 hour at the max. That's scalping, right? And also could be looking at charts between 1 minute, 5 minutes, or no, 15 minutes, probably 30 minutes time frame, which could also require you to stay actively and then trade, and also monitoring your trade. Okay, so for me, I don't do this one. Okay, so I don't do the 15 minutes. I mostly don't go down to 15 minutes time frame in order to do analysis. I don't go to that time frame. I stay more on the H1, the 4 hours, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. Okay, probably in little occasions can I go over to 30 minutes because I want to maybe, just maybe, I want to be seeing some kind of corrective pattern differently. Okay, so day trading involves traders could be holding trade for a day, say a few days, few hours, and also more of the time they'll be doing analysis on 15 minutes and also 1 hour, 4 hours time frame. All right, and for about trade monitoring, they could be looking at trade actively. Okay, looking at trade active because you want to enter into a trade where you find the best possible probability of success. Okay, probability of success here in the sense that you would also step into a position where you want to have high chance of success. Okay, so here I look at also the swing trade. What also works for me, I definitely love the swing trade. Okay, because the trend time frame goes to a medium term. Okay, I take trades over a period, say daily, over a period. I could have trades go for days. Okay, I could also hold trades for weeks, and mostly I like doing my analysis over the H1 and the 4 hour time frame because those are the larger time frame, and I really recommend that if you want to be looking at a trend over a period, that the best time frame to look at trends is the H1, and probably you want to start from the monthly time frame because the monthly time frame is going to give you the overall idea of the market trend. Okay, it's going to give you a trend over a range period, say the last 3 years, 4 years. You could be seeing range. Okay, right? And that also could also reflect as to what is also happening in the stock market. I would really point out as the S&P, because if you're looking at the S&P on a monthly scale, you're going to be identifying that what we have here is a bullish trend. Okay, we're having an uptrend. Okay, so if you're looking at the USD you're looking at also the USD, probably Mexican peso, the USD ZAR, you understand that over a period, or say the last 10 years or the last decade, you could be having price moving in a on uptrend. Okay, so you want to be looking at trend upside. All right, so you can then understand that whatever is going in or coming in as a counter trend is mostly a corrective wave, and is a corrective structure that could also take a little few days to complete. And once that is done, we could be expecting that price could also continue from that point to move to the next level upside. Okay, so I look at trend first because that's the first element of trading. You want to look at trend. You want to see where you are in the market. All right, so I look at trend first, I look at where I am, and I look at what I want to do. Okay, so however, looking at these three things could also improve on your trading. So I look at the chart on various intervals. Okay, so for a swing trading, I would say I'm more of a swing trader, and also I'm more of a day trader because I look at time frame from ranging from 1 hour to 4 hours to daily to weekly to monthly. All right, but however, I don't open trades on a monthly time frame. I open trades on the H1 and also on the H4. That's the time frame which I take my trades. Okay, that's where I either buy or either sell. Right, so I'm not mostly actively trading in terms of monitoring trade. I don't sit on my screen all day. I need to have time for my family. I need to have time for friends. I need to have time for myself to relax, to sleep. Mostly I need to have time over to go watch some football match as well. I need to have time to relax. I had to have time to go take some other activities, probably like playing instrument. Right, I also play football a little bit and for fun, all right, to also keep fit. So I don't actively sit on my screen all day monitoring my trades. Okay, and also position trading, I do less of position trading because it was one, you have to take trades for a longer term. Okay, say from few days or few months to years, and to maybe a longer term. Right, so that is not really my style, but I trade more of the intraday, all right, or the day trading, and also swing trading for me. All right, so another question comes here for number 4. We have how do you analyze the market? I really say how I analyze the market. I look at the market from a multi-time analysis, all right, because I switch over to monthly to weekly to daily to H4, and I look at the overall trend. Okay, I look at the overall trend. Where am I in the market, and what phase am I in the market? All right, so we have different phases of the market. We have the accumulation, we have the markup, we have the reaccumulation, we have price also going down, and that also could also create a distribution. All right, So I look at charts on different time frames and also analyze using the elliott wave theory. All right, so at what time do you place my trade? Okay, so I would really say one of the times I would really recommend placing of trades or opening of positions is on a particular session. Okay, so I mostly don't trade the Asian session, but I could have trades run over, crossing over the session. Okay, say I happen to take a trade on Tuesday, New York session, I could actually be holding the trade at the end of the session into Asian session, or also Cindy could also cross over. Okay, so I could be holding trades over that period. I wouldn't close my trade at the end of a session, but one of the times I would not open a trade will be at the start of a session. All right, at the start of the session is when I will not be opening trades. Okay, so let me just go ahead and share with you also. This is a chart of different sessions. Okay, this is different sessions, chart of different sessions, and I'm just going to be sharing with you when you can actually come in to take a trade. Okay, so what I do basically for trading, for me, I don't take trades between this time frame. I don't take trades here. I don't open positions here, and I also do not open positions also here. All right, so this I'm gonna be working on GMT for this one here, because this is from we have also GMT, we have EST. So I open trades from 5 in the morning to 6 to 7. Okay, because why I don't open trades at this point, one, we have it that this is towards the end of Cindy session and also Tokyo session. You could have it that one, that liquidity might be low at this point. All right, and you also have it that different set of traders might wake up in London with different set of buyers and then coming in to push. So it could be over a time in Cindy, USD was more of going down, and you can see that in London session that you can have a little bit of reaction. Just maybe we might have price continue to downside, but however, we might also be having some sort of pullback here. So I want to be seeing in London session price pulling back to an area where I find supply, okay, or giving me one of a valid structure or an Elliott wave structure to be able to take the next trade. Okay, so I don't take trades in this time between 5, 6, and 7 GMT, and I do not also take trades at exactly midday. I don't take trades. I don't open positions here. I can wait the whole of this time to open position either at this point or at this point. Okay, so I don't open trades at this point. Okay, and I don't also open trades at this point. Okay, so whenever I'm looking at the market, whenever price or the market hits the New York session, we go 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours into the session. I don't open trade 5 hours after the session. All right, for New York, I don't open trades here, but I can actually hold any position I had probably over that period, but I would not open a new trade during this session. All right, it's for me, what happened during this period is more of, I see more of the players leaving the market. All right, because once it's 4 in New York, which is 16 here, you'd have it that probably, all right, a lot of traders or participants, okay, that were actually moving the market, say, to the upside, will be wanting to close their position, and you can also see that market could also witness an unload. All right, witness an unload, and then you can also see market move in the opposite direction, or however, liquidity will be less in this period, and you can also have it that price could also move more in the sideways and over this period, and it's not one of the best time to take a trade. Okay, and also in this period here is one of the worst time to take a trade, because at this point here you have very low liquidity and also you have very high spread. Okay, you don't want to be taking trades when the spreads are high. All right, you have the bid and the ask. You don't want to be taking trades when the spread is high. And you can also have it that during this period here, between these two time frames which I just circled out, you have it that you have a very high spread during this period. Okay, And that is because we are towards the end of New York session, and is also the start of Tokyo session. Okay, so it's about the start of Tokyo session and also Sydney session. And you can also have it that liquidity will be low instead of this time until, for GMT, until this point. All right, you can have it that price would start then going back to normalcy around 1 a.m. in the morning and also 2 a.m. You can also see that that spread would also close up, and you can also have that Euro USD would return back from just maybe 15 pips spread to then regularly 4 or 1 pip spread. Okay, so I don't take trades in this cycle hours. I don't take trade here, I don't take trades here, I don't open positions here, I don't open positions from here. All right, so I don't open positions here. So the remainder of the times is where I open my trades. Okay, so I open my trades inside of the blue territory or the green territory, because these are my green territories. That's when I open my trades. Okay, all right, so we just look at the next question. How many positions do you open per day or per week? I look at opening between 5 to at max 7 trading positions in a week. All right, because I start my trading on Tuesday. All right, I start my trading on Tuesday. Regularly, I start my trading on Tuesday, and when I'm looking at Tuesday, I start my trade on Tuesday, and on Tuesday I could be taking just about 2 trades, which could also run from, if it's a profitable one, could also run from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I could be forced to close some positions and also take some profit, and I could also be opening, say, another 2 positions maybe on Thursday, Friday, probably. So I don't open more than 5 to 7. I open between 5 to 7 trades, not more than 7 trades in a week, in a whole trading week, because on Friday here I take not more than 2 trading positions, okay, of different pays. So how many positions do you open per week? I would say that I open between 5 to 7 at the max. So how much do you risk per trade? Risk here is a very technical one, because it's more of an individual trader, but for my own kind of trading, I risk between 1 to 7%. All right, I risk between 1 to 7%, because what I would say 1 to 7% on per trade is, okay, I have it that I want to sell GBP USD. Okay, let me point that out. I want to sell GBP USD. Okay, so I want to sell. Okay, so I could have an initial, let's say I want to take my very first trade, and my very first trade is taking 1% of my equity in terms of risk. Okay, and I also have it that price moved maybe to some certain structure here, creating new territories. Okay, say price moved, creating new territories. I was selling at this point. I could also add another position, thereby I'm open 2%. Price drops, I can also add another position here, I'm open 3%. Okay, but however, in all, I'm still only trading GBP USD. Price drops again, I could also sell here, and then at that point I would shift my stop loss here to break even on 2 positions here, and I'll add another position here, and I'll be open on probably 2.5%. All right, so in some cases I could also have this open as much as 3, 4, 5% on per trade. So when I mean per trade, it's not a single trade. I can't just come out and then I want to trade and I want to trade I want to take 10 standard lot. I don't do that. Okay, rather I could break this standard lot into pieces. I could break it into mini lots. I can break it into mini lot. I can be trading 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, like that, until that completes this standard loss here, because at that point in time I could be able to close certain trades at certain levels. Okay, certain levels of stop loss or certain level of risk, and I can also close at certain level of profit, okay, in order to back profit, and then shift my stop loss to entry, and I'll be running on risk free. All right, so what risk to reward ratio do you aim for? I aim between 2 to 3, 1 is to 2, 1 is to 3, okay? 1 is to 2, 1 is to 3 risk to reward is just okay for me, all right? In some occasions, I could also take 1 is to 1.5, okay? I could do that. On rare occasions, I could do that as well, all right? So how do you handle the stress of losing trade? Stress of losing trade, loss is part of the business, okay? Because from the very point you click on sell, that starts on a minus because of spread, okay? So I understand that losing is part of the business and you would lose at some point, okay? I take it as the cost of doing business, all right? I take trades in a new day not to wipe away the loss of the previous day, but I always look to be better than who I was yesterday. So if I'm losing minus 2% of my equity on Tuesday, Wednesday, I will not be looking to get back this 2%. This 2% is cost of doing business for on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'll be looking to be a better person and also make some profit on Tuesday. So if on Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm making plus 4%, I'm okay. All right. I'm not calculating this one as total loss. I'm just looking at this as cost of doing business. So if you want to look at that, you'll be looking at that as cost of doing business, and it will be fine, all right, to look at it that way. You don't want to be looking at loss any differently because it's going to weigh you down. All right. And I don't take trades just to cancel out a loss. I take a trade to make money. All right. I take a trade to make profit. I don't go all out to take trades to cancel out a loss I had probably in the previous day. So what's the best day of the week to trade? All right. So this is one of the questions I love the most. The best day to trade. All right. I would say the best day to trade is a day market moves in your favor. Okay. I would say the day a market moves in your, or the market moves in your favor, is the best day to trade for you. Okay. But however, we have certain days where we have change in price the more. All right. So you make money from trading from change in price, otherwise called volatility. So change in price, otherwise called volatility. All right. So we have it that on this is a chart of days of the week with respect to change in price of certain currencies. We have it that Euro USD change on Sunday, Monday opening, Monday 109. We have it on Tuesday. We have change up to 142, 136, 145, and then on Friday we have 144. So I would put it out that the best days to trade is between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes. Because in these days, there are volatility. There are more change during these days than these other days. So I would say between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the best days to trade. All right. I would say that. All right, we move on to the next question. How many trades do you open simultaneously? Trades open simultaneously, I wouldn't open up to 4 different positions or different trades at the same time. I've never done that before. I've never opened 4 different trades at the same time. Either I'm buying Euro USD or GBP USD, GBP, maybe JPY, or maybe AUD USD. No. I don't do this. All right, I don't open all this position at once, because what is going to happen is that the change or the time of change of this one, or the price movement of this one will be different from this one, and also with this one, and also with this one. You could have it that in some occasions that GBP JPY would be going up and GBP USD would be coming down. You might have it on some occasions, but over a certain period. So I don't open more than 2 at a time. If I'm trading Euro USD, I could also add to Euro USD rather than having to open AD USD. So I don't take more than 4 in. I don't take up to 4. I take at max 3. 3 is fine for me. All right. So how do you combine? Do you combine Forex with other market? Yes. I trade also the stock market. I also trade the crypto market as well. All right. So I do that as well because it's where I find the best opportunity. That's where I want to be. All right. So if I find structure in the market, I find an embedded head and shoulder on anywhere, be it stock market and be it the crypto market as well, I can also take some positions, all right, because it fits my trade strategy of the Elliott wave, or it also fits another setup whatsoever. Or if I also have a contracting triangle or a wedge pattern, I could also take some trade because it fits my trade strategy. Yeah, I would do that. Okay, so do you close trade ahead of an important news? Ahead of important news, yes, and I would say no at the same time. Okay, so what I would do ahead of an important news, I would tighten my stop loss. Okay, I have it that price have already moved 50% or 50 pips in my favor. All right, what I would do ahead of important news, I would just shift my stop loss to my entry point. Okay, I would just shift that to my entry point because during this time we have it that NFP, we have average pip moved during NFP is about 140 pips. FOMC have around 60. Trade balance have around 60, 65, 70. CPI have about 57 to 60, 63. And also retail sales have between 70 to 80 pips price change. So I would tighten my stop loss because this time is where we have high volatility. And also, what I will also do is I will also reduce my trade position. Out of the 100 position, 100% position I have on a certain trade, I will close maybe 50%. Then allow 50 to run. All right. I don't want to see the market reverse on me. Okay, because I put it that the news is a catalyst. Okay, the news, I see the news as a catalyst. It can either speed up the rate of chemical reaction, also chemistry. Catalyst is one that could speed up the rate of chemical reaction or one that could also slow it down. All right, so it could also create a continuation to the downside on upside, or could also create a reversal. So news can also be a catalyst, okay, to the market. Do you trade exotic currencies? Yes, I do. I trade exotics, but to some certain extent, I don't go trading the probably NZD Chinese yuan. I don't go trading the. I don't go trading the. I could be trading the pound ZAR. I could also trading the pound NOK. I could be trading the USD NOK. I could be trading the USD ZAR. I could be trading the USD Mexican peso. But I wouldn't go trading the New Zealand Mexican peso. All right, because that's gonna be noisy. Okay, it's gonna be noisy. All right, I wouldn't go trading that. All right, so I trade only what I would term as major exotics. Yes. Major exotics are one that have either pound or it has either dollar, US dollar, and could also have pound probably on them, all right, as the one of the composite currencies of the pay. All right. So certain pays better to trade than others. Yes. Yes, I would say yes. Certain pays are better to trade than others in terms of change, but because if you look at volatility here, we would understand that certain pays move more than certain pays. All right, so for here we have is that pound could also move 1 or 2 pips in a day or points per day, as compared to AUD USD could also move 43. Okay, we also have it that GBP AUD could also move this as compared to this, can also move, but as compared to Euro AUD could also move 97 points, all right, on the day, as compared to maybe CAD CHF could also move 53. So certain pairs are better than some to trade on some certain days. I would say that. Okay, number 16 goes how to identify a trending market. I would say a trending market it's simply a market structure that is not flat, it's not sideways. It can either be having an uptrend, price making series of higher highs, higher lows, and then higher lows, and then that could continue. So that's definitely an uptrend, okay, because it's moving up. And I would say a downtrend is one that is moving down, forming series of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then lower lows. All right, that's a downtrend. So how do I identify it? I identify it by the start. All right, so once price makes new high, makes new higher low, that's definitely an uptrend, okay, for me. So once opposite makes new lower low, lower high, that's a downtrend. How to identify a ranging market? I would say ranging market is one that is more of sideways. Okay, so we have a ranging market to be more of a sideways market. This is an example of a ranging market. We have that price could also be flowing from resistance to maybe support back here, and you can see that that could also continue for some period. All right, without having to create new highs or new lows. That's a ranging market. How much profit do you make from trading Forex? For profit on this one here, I don't look at profit in terms of money. All right, I look at profit in terms of percentage change of my equity. So if I'm looking at making between 8% per month or per week or per month, I'm okay, I'm fine. All right, because this would be enough for me to pay the bills and also attend to other things which needs to be attended to. So if I'm making probably 27% in a month, it's cool for me. All right, so I don't look at profit in a day. I look at profit over a period. So I could be looking at profit over a month or a year. Okay, because that could be possibly the time when I look to place withdrawal from my account. All right, unless I have urgent needs for cash. Okay, so I have different accounts for different purposes and also to trade different instruments as well. All right, so I have a different account which I also trade the stock. I also have a different account which I trade just the cryptos. I also have a different account which I trade only Forex as well. All right, so I have different accounts for different purposes, and I look at it differently. So if I'm making 8%, 27% on different accounts or separate accounts, it's fine for me. Okay, it's okay for me. All right, so I hope with this one I've been able to answer these questions, and if you have any other question you want to send it down, you can also send it down as a comment below and then drop that as a comment. I will look into it and also try to answer that in my next presentation. Like, subscribe, share with friends. That's the best thank you, and to also help in the creation of more videos such as this one. I love you all and remain blessed.